if you are ready to finally cut through the bullshit, if you are ready to finally learn how to use your intuition at the level of a professional so that you can use it on a daily basis no matter what you're doing, read the program page below and click the option that is perfect for you. The first option is to become certified. The second option is not to become certified. How many times have you decided to do one thing and ended up deciding to do something else at the very last minute? How many times have you been driving and you get guided to turn off on some random street? How many times have you had these little hunches and have followed through with them? And how many times have you had these hunches and have not followed through with them? Hi, I'm Flora Sage, 6-time author, intuition expert, and founder of the Flora Sage Therapies Institute. And today I want to invite you to join me in this professional, ethical, psychic training. This is for anyone who wants to learn how to use your intuition on a daily basis at the level of a professional. So why do I want everybody to be at the level of a professional psychic? Because it's our God-given right. It is our birthright to be able to tap into, tune into, and use our own intuition. It's like having another, it's our sixth sense. It's having another sense that most of us, many of us, don't use. And the reason why we don't use it is because most of us didn't grow up in an environment that nurtured our psychic abilities. And so what happens is we start to rely on ego and what we think we need to do instead of what we're really being guided to do. When we do that, we end up in jobs that we hate, in relationships that are unhealthy, overweight, unhappy, feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious, and going, oh my gosh, why is this so hard? All we want, all we're craving is to figure out what the next move is that will benefit us and our life for the better. And I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't. When you tune into and learn to use your intuition at the level of a professional, what happens is you take the guesswork out of it. Life no longer is a guessing game. You start to train yourself to recognize what your intuition is telling you on a daily basis at a moment-to-moment time, and all of a sudden you start to realize, well, wait a minute, I don't want to do this, I want to do this. And so you start going with those intuitive hits that you get, and all of a sudden your life is flowing more smoothly, you're becoming more happy, you're in relationships that are healthy, you start loving your career, or you change careers to a job that you absolutely love. And all of a sudden you look around and you're like, wow, my life is completely different, all because I learned how to use my intuition. It's really that simple. In this program, I teach you in-depth ways on how to activate your intuition at a basic level all the way up through advanced levels. I teach you what you need to have in your foundation in order to be at the level of a professional. When I was 12, I had my first intuitive hit, and from there the floodgates opened and I was bombarded with information, and it was so much to take in that I was feeling overwhelmed, and I did not know how to interpret anything. I didn't know how to even make sense of it. I didn't even know how to start to make sense of it. And so fast forward from 1987, when I turned 12, to 2001, early on in 2001, I had some information that I didn't put together. And a very tragic event happened, which I actually talk about down below if you want to read the whole story. Because I had all the pieces of the puzzle, but I didn't put it together, I felt responsible, and I felt so hopeless, and I felt so helpless. And I was pissed. I was pissed at God or whomever was up there, and I said, you know what, I don't want this information anymore. I don't want it. And I shut my intuition off, and my life was an utter train wreck. I ended up having an affair. I ended up getting hired, getting laid off. I ended up getting married, getting divorced. And then finally I just said, forget it, I can't do this. And I gave everything I owned away, and I moved to South Africa with my 2 kids. And I was there for 3.5 months, and then I realized, well, my life is exactly the same here as it was in the United States, only with a different cast of characters, but it's the same story. And I realized that I was the common denominator, and I realized that I wasn't using my intuition. I realized I was in this mess because I was trying to do it on my own. And I felt hopeless and I felt helpless. Just like you might be feeling right now, that you're feeling like, oh my gosh, why is this so hard? Why can't I figure out how to use this? And why can't I figure out how to use it in a way that I'll feel confident every single time I make a choice? You know, when I think I'm using my intuition. And so I was sitting there on the beach in South Africa feeling really frustrated, feeling deflated, and I just said, okay peeps, please come back. Please teach me how to use my intuition, but also teach me how to teach others, because I don't want anybody to feel hopeless and helpless like I have. And so they said, okay, here. And they led me to teachers. One of the things that I was really frustrated about is when I took all these certification programs that I did way back in the day, they didn't teach about ethics. They didn't teach how to use this in the real world. They didn't teach how to have a sustainable spiritual practice with it or how to be a professional reader. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I was really frustrated, and I felt like I flushed away tens of thousands of dollars. And so finally I just said, okay, if I had a program that I designed and I created, what would I have in it? And I started to write everything down, and I'm like, boom, okay. Well, ironically, right after I did that, my peeps said, okay, now teach this. And I was like, rock on, because it felt right. Each one of us receives information differently, and in this program I help you figure out how to decipher and translate what your spirit guides, what your high self is giving to you, so that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt exactly what spirit is trying to share with you. So why does anybody want to know how to do this? Well, you can use this method, your intuition basically, for everything. On, you know, what to eat for breakfast, what way to drive to work, who to talk to, who not to talk to, who to avoid, where to go, and what to do. And every single decision that you make in your world, in your life, depends on how tuned into and how tapped into you are to your intuition. So many of us are cut off from our intuition, and that's why we live lives that are not happy, that are not satisfying, that is a struggle. And I don't want you to struggle anymore. I want you to really be able to recognize what a true intuitive hit is and what isn't. So regardless of what profession that you're in, no matter what your occupation, psychic development will and can help you navigate your world and your realm even smoother and even more so. Another thing that we do is we build the foundation for a professional psychic practice. Now, for those of you who are not choosing to do the certification program, that's okay, because this will allow you to see what a professional psychic goes through in order to create a sustainable and ethical and professional practice. And while we're building your foundation, what we're doing is we're looking at the different pieces. We're looking at meditation, we're looking at energy work, we're looking at space clearing and how that comes to play. We look at nutrition, we look at water, we look at different divination methods, we look at boundaries, which is a huge thing for professional ethical psychics. We look at all the different ways that you can offer your services to the world, and then we also look at everyday uses and everyday ways to use your intuition on an ethical basis to help you live the life that you finally want to live. Life no longer needs to be a guessing game. I'm promising you, this is something I lived. For years, I lived in the dark with my intuition, and I hated it. And my dream for you, my desire for you, is that you see this program page and you say, yes, I am done being in the dark. I am done not knowing how to use my intuition, and I'm finally ready to learn how to use it on an ethical basis, how to use it on a practical and easy and simple basis. Anybody that has ever worked with me knows I do not do fluff. I take out all the bullshit, I take out all the fluff, and I give you exactly what you need to know, and nothing else, nothing more, and nothing less as well. And I give you very in-depth teachings, but I also give you the step-by-step on how to implement what it is that I'm teaching. And also I help you explore what it is that I'm teaching so that you can take what I'm teaching and mold it into a way that is perfect for you. And again, that's something that I didn't have from the teachers that taught me. They just said it's my way or no way. I didn't resonate with that at all. And so in this program, you have the opportunity to learn all of these foundational pieces, and you also have the freedom to take what I teach you and mold it into your reading style, your way of living, your way of doing things, so that when you come out the other side, you're very confident and very sure of yourself as a reader. Whether you do this professionally and you choose the certification option, or you don't do it professionally and you just use this to better yourself in your career. I have a ton of management people who go through this program to help them be better managers. I have a ton of parents that go through this program to help them be a better parent. So regardless of what profession that you're in, no matter what your occupation, psychic development will and can help you navigate your world and your realm even smoother and even more so. I invite you to read the page below and select the option that fits your needs right now. Some people aren't really sure if they want to become certified or not. If that's the case, I would recommend that you jump on the non-certification selection now, because you can always upgrade to the certified option if you want in the future. But know that you have lifetime access to this program. If you're done living in the dark, if you're done wondering about what choices are the best choices for you to make, if you're done wondering about what is a true intuitive hit and what isn't a true intuitive hit, then this is the program for you. So check out the page below and click the link that's the best option for you, and I'll see you on the other side.